Wanwadi ka Yesu, wanwadi cha mungima, wanwadi ka Yesu, wanwadi cha mungima, kakongudung kudikanyo wanwadi ka Yesu, wanwadi cha mungima.
The first time I encountered the merchants of Nairobi and their incredible flamboyant shops was when I was working on my book Living Africa. And I was returning from a trip to Ethiopia, and I had a day to spare in Nairobi. I arrived at the top of this hill, and I looked down from this hill, and I just saw this incredible human tide, this undulating mass of people, which was in complete contrast to the remote, empty areas I'd visited earlier. I was intrigued by this, so I moved further down the hill and I moved into the crowd, and then I saw the occasional van heaving its way through the crowd with interesting painted motifs on it like peace and passion. People often think of Africa as being places with abundant wildlife, or they associate Africa with remote tribes. But it struck me that the shopkeepers of Nairobi are quintessentially every bit as part of Africa. I was struck by the colour of the place. I was struck by these incredible painted signs. For instance, I saw the Bora-Bora Bar, which said, "Never give up, life continues." I saw a kerosene pump, which wasn't just a kerosene pump, it was a blessing kerosene pump. Or a car wash was an enlightened car wash. One thing about the shops and the signs outside is that they very much reflected the personalities of the shopkeepers, and it's wonderful to see these shops where you can get some sense of what the people inside the shop are like simply by looking at the outside of them. And there was just so much vibrancy and so much going on and so much interaction between the people. In order to produce my interview and the photographs, I'd see a shop, and if it interested me, I'd go in and I'd ask the people if I could take pictures. I deliberately did it fast because I think often your impressions of people are formed in the first few minutes, and then sit down with them with a small voice recorder and try and find out about these people's lives and the things that frustrated them, the things that were most important to them. One thing that I found really interesting is that most of the people had the same aspirations and the same frustrations and the same problems, and there was the underlying worry about money, the constant goal of trying to provide a better life for their children than they had, which is one thing that I think unites everybody, across all cultures. I met a really lovely woman called Esther Watira, who ran the Half London greengrocer shop. And she was telling me about the children that she'd adopted, because she didn't have two children of her own, and about the problems of running the greengrocer shop. And I said to her, "Why is it called the Half London greengrocer shop?" And she said, "Well, think about it, London is very big, and my greengrocer shop is very small, so I had to call it Half London." I was driving down Kitengela Road in the district of Langata, and the road was incredible. There were so many different shops and there was so much going on and so on. And I thought, well, how can I possibly photograph this entire road? So I started at the bottom end at Ghetto's Hair Salon, and I took a photograph, and I'd walked 4 paces and I took another photograph. On the computer, when I got back home, I stitched these images together. So as your eye moves along this incredibly long picture, your viewpoints change. So it's as if you are physically moving along the street. I'd photographed wildlife, I've photographed remote tribes in Africa, I'd photographed people in India, and this is completely different from anything I've done before. And that's what's exciting about being a photographer. It's about approaching almost any subject and just turning it into something very special, using photography to inspire people to see and learn more about that particular subject. And when you can do that with photography, it's absolutely wonderful.
Wanwadi ka Yesu, wanwadi cha mungima.